Okay, so we are recording now. Hey. Okay. So I'll do a quick intro and then we'll get right to it.
Okay.
Hi, you've reached Rannie and you've gotten. Oh, hi. Sorry. Someone wants attention all of a sudden because they hear my voice. Come here. Come up here. Yeah, you sit there. You sit there. You want to say hello? There you go. Oh, look at you. Look
Hi,
at
dog.
you. This is Romy.
Hi, Romy.
Say hi, hi, Romy. Okay.
I bought your album last
Okay.
week.
We'll get back into that. All right. So you've reached Rannie at Photo Junkie Podcast here on YouTube. This is our first episode, and of course, Romy wants some screen time right away. It's all right. So you're probably wondering what you're doing here on this channel. I am, self-proclaimed vinyl junkie. And this is a channel for me to talk to other vinyl junkies to, hear about their collections, to see kind of what they collect, and, to talk about various different fandoms and all that kind of stuff. And, the music, obviously. Today we have Nick from Manchester in the studio with us online. So, Nick, welcome. Nice to have you.
Hi. Thank you. Nice to be here.
So, why don't you give our viewers kind of like a quick background? What you do, where you're at, where they can find you, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm on Instagram. Nick Clough, 2Ks. That's not going to even translate even remotely well saying it out loud, but still. So I've got, and I have my record collection, which is probably more pertinent to this, which is the Clough collection. And that's probably
and we'll have
CLUGH.
We'll have the links below.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm a record collector. Have been since 1989. And I have amassed more than you can see behind, but that's what you can see for now.
Since 1989, so like, what caused the bug in you?
Oh, right. What caused the bug in me? Well, I always liked music. So there's a picture of me as a child wearing headphones, Polaroid, big chunky early 80s headphones, and the caption underneath is Nicky listening to ABBA's Arrival. So I mean, I've always listened to music, but I think the bug for actually wanting to collect came a lot later. I think I can trace it to December 1989 when I was at a school disco and there was 2 spot prizes for me and another girl. And I won a pencil case, and she won Kylie and Jason, especially for you, on 7-inch single. And I was like, "What is that? I want that." And she told me I could go and buy it from Woolworths, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to win it in a competition. I wanted to trade my pencil case for it, which she didn't want to do. And I didn't go and buy it because I wasn't allowed to go and buy things like that. But I didn't go and buy it, but I did. Obviously, I own it now on multiple formats.
So you didn't like trade it off with the girl to get that 7-inch.
She was not having any of it. I mean, she better still have it now.
Did you even have a record player at home at the time?
Did we have a record player? So I got for Christmas 1980. I think I got a stereo system with the record player and the cassette and the CD all built in together, because I just like getting into listening to music as well, and taping off the radio, of course. And I'd got my first cassette gifted to me by my dad Wasn't what I wanted, but it was good enough. It was now 11. Now that's what I call music 11. Because it had Kylie on it.
Yeah, and how many of those now compilations do you have now?
On which format?
Yeah, exactly. Probably a ton.
I definitely have on at least one format. I have from 1 through to 102. I think I've
Wow.
got
Wow.
On either CD or cassette or on vinyl. I have 1 through 34 on vinyl. I'm only missing 35 on vinyl, but I'm not really into spending multiples of hundreds of pounds. I want to get it cheap. I'm a cheap collector.
You want to find it in the wild, eh?
I do want to find it in the wild. The thrill of looking through a box and going, oh, don't give it away. Keep the game face on. Don't give it away. You're about to get a bargain. I'll take this.
Speaking of bargains, what has been your greatest find since you started collecting?
What has been my greatest find? I think my greatest find was again Kylie, the 1994 album. It was before it was repressed, so my friend was saying to me, "You're never going to find it cheap. You may as well spend a lot of money on it." I think it was like something like £80 or £100. You may as well spend it. So I'm like, nope, I'm going to find it in a charity shop for £1. I'm going to find it in a charity shop for £1. We talked obviously for a good long while about this, and one day I'm in a charity shop, flicking through. How much is this? Oh, they're all £1. I'll take it. There was a few other things, bits and pieces in there, some other 12-inch and stuff like that. I just need to play it cool and just pretend they're all 7-inch singles. And I went, oh, you got a lot of 7-inch singles here. Slip it in between. Here you go, kind of thing. And yeah, so I got Kylie Minogue 1994 for £1 from a charity shop. But the awful thing was that my friend as well, it was coming up to my birthday, and he had bought me an expensive copy as a treat.
Of course he did.
So yeah, so I was like, oh look, I found it for £1. He was like, yeah, of course you found it for £1 after I just spent what? I haven't asked how much. But the real kick in the balls was when it got repressed. The announcement for the repress was about 2 weeks later on as well. So it was just very unfortunate timing, but a very lovely, a very lovely thing for him to do, and I'm dead appreciative. And I've still got both copies. I won't let the other one go because they're distinct. One is an absolute perseverance manifested look thing, and one is like, an absolutely beautiful thing my friend did for me, and I can distinguish them because the one I found in the charity shop has got a squashed insect on the back of it. So,
oh my goodness.
We took left out just to make sure it's extra special edition, squashed insect edition.
So with that, that's your greatest find. What's still kind of, been out of your grasp that you're still looking for?
Oh, I mean, a light bulb that works. Apparently.
Apparently.
Oh, wow, okay. I am just letting this go. I'm just letting this happen.
Are you sure it's not haunted over there?
I wouldn't mind if it was, actually. I think it'd be quite interesting. You get a ghost in there, you learn to contact it and then teach it how to tidy up when I'm not in. Yeah, that'd be ideal. Right, we're back, so, whatever's happened has happened. Right, what's evading me? So much evades me, honestly. My want list, when I collect as much as I do, because I don't just collect one artist, I collect multiple artists. I don't just collect one format, I collect multiple formats. I like the physical format. I like how an image is resized for each format. I like how in different territories
and you're a
things,
completist, so I'm sure.
I like to try to be. But what's evading me? Well, now 35 is one. There is a There, so many of them. So many. This would have been if you asked me like a year and a half ago, or pre-pandemic, before I actually hunted these things down because I had nothing else to do. I would have had a lot more really good stories about hunting things down. But no. So Bananarama's Rough Justice. There is an edition which has got little holograms in it, but all of the editions seem to be it's hologram edition. No holograms. Well, don't advertise it as the hologram edition then, because it's not. What else evades me? Bananarama's Long Train Running on Japanese snap pack, the 3-inch ones. I think I've got the rest of them, but I think I'm missing that one.
That's very specific and very 3-inch.
The 3-inch, the 3-inch snap. You know the little rectangular ones, unsnapped, of course. But yeah, I will track these things. That is, I don't think there'll ever be a point where my record collection's complete. But otherwise, it's like really random things that I really, really want, like 2 Unlimited, Hits Unlimited on vinyl, which I think it only came out in Brazil. I want that. Yeah. If anybody wants to send me that's out there, I mean, please do. I'd appreciate it.
I 2 Unlimited. Wow. I definitely have that on CD, and I probably have a couple of their songs on 7-inch, but like a full-on album.
There are a few songs that make me as happy as No Limit, and there are a few albums that make me as happy as the album No Limits. It just puts a massive smile on my face. I mean, I don't see why people ever need drugs in this world when music is music is such a joy. It's just, oh God, I love that song. And a real Sea Lover Pupil is Björk is my favourite, and she loves that song. There's a karaoke video. There's a video of her doing karaoke bit on YouTube. So seal of approval. It's a joy maker.
So you were saying that you don't just collect one artist,
no.
Maybe which artists kind of fall within your I'm going to get as much of merchandise from you as possible category?
So Kylie, obviously, Bananarama are really good to collect because there's loads of different versions of things, and there's like different versions of different territories, different covers. There's like special limited editions for each of the 3 girls when there was 3 of them in the band. So there's all kind of lovely little things to hunt down there. I've got a lot of Madonna stuff. I like to collect the Madonna stuff, but that's you kind of setting yourself up for a fall wanting to be completist with that, because there's things that are never going to come down in price and you're never going to find, and it's just no.
There's just so much of it. There's so much of it.
Danny Minogue stuff. Love a bit of Danny as well. Who else? The Spice Girls stuff. Spice Girls and solo stuff. Shakespeare's sister. I love Kathy Dennis. 90s pop and dance. It just really does it for me. So there are many. Kim Wilde is one I've got quite a lot of, and there's loads of different versions from different territories, which I find it really cool. I'm just looking around my room at stuff that I'm collecting.
Wait,
I'm not telling you what it is. It's here. I'm not telling you what it is.
Well, you're lucky in a way that I've always been jealous of people in the UK because they always get the singles. Like when I'm looking for a specific single, it's usually an import from the UK that I'm missing out on. And I remember when I was early Fandom stuff on, I was a big Cranberries fan back in the 90s, and I used to order stuff out of the back of these magazine newspaper type things that it's you look at the listing, it's I hope sending out money, I hope I'm getting something back, and most of the time you do, but it's it's one of those things. It's like it says 7-inch, it says promo. I think this is the one, but you really don't have much to go off of.
Nope. Faith. The collector's faith.
But the thing is, like, at least go ahead.
I was going to say, I remember ringing up from those magazines with my 20p, and they go, "We need to go away and check them." I've only got 20p. You have to really, really quick. I've only got 20p. So,
but at least, like, luckily, you still had brick and mortar stores to go to find those very same things.
Yeah.
Where here, like, an import was an import. So, like, unless you were ordering it through HMV or something, or ordering it through the back of one of these magazines, you weren't getting it.
Well, I mean, we always had loads of record shops as well, which was always great to go and potter around, and they always had a little bargain bits underneath the shelves that always drew me in. I was in Paris last week, and I was in record shops, and I'm just on the floor pulling things out from under. I just want the thing that nobody else wants. And I tell you what, I'm extremely lucky as well, because a friend of mine has just opened a record shop as well. She just invested like everything she's got in opening this record shop in the Midlands, and spinning around records.
Nice.
So it's a pop themed record shop. So again, I now get to go to my friend's shop and dig. So I told her she needs to get things, slide them underneath counters so I can pull it all out, have a look through it. That's what people like, isn't it? A good rummage. But I found some amazing things by just doing a good rummage.
A good rummage is hard these days, though, because it's like I feel like a good rummage 10 years ago was still a pretty decent rummage. Now it's like I find it's a lot more difficult to find a good find.
Yeah, but they're out there. They're definitely out there. Honestly, there's a shop that I go to, and it's an absolute den, a never-ending den. And I've been going there for years, and I'll still go there, and I'll painstakingly go through everything, and I'll just find these things. And I'll be like, "Why have I never found this before?" And I've had the absolute honor of being allowed into the storage room upstairs, and also another of going to their storage unit and having a dig through. But the storage unit was a little bit overwhelming. The storage unit,
oh my god,
like straight up, and I'm like, I just need a little, like one little tick of less restraint, and I am up there. Because they had boxes of CD singles. I'm not even joking. Like long, thin boxes of CD singles, all the same ones, but there was pallets and pallets of it. I'm like, that is it. That's one day. That is my Everest. I'm going up there and I'm pulling all this, like, there's all the plastic wrapping off it. What's in here? And I did actually get one. I'm like, what's in here? And I'm like, it's Depeche Mode. I don't collect Depeche Mode.
No. Why not?
Because I'm not a fan of their music as such. I respect them as artists, but yeah,
it's very interesting. I don't know what to do with that piece of information. I knew you were very much like a pop diva fan, and I just assumed that, like, because you're British, that you'd probably like Depeche Mode, and very kind of Brit thing. But wow.
Do you like Avril Lavigne?
Okay, and we've stopped right now, so I'm not sure exactly what's oh, yep, you're kind of moving.
Moving my hand. Is the hand moving?
Yep, I got you. It's a little choppy, but hopefully when it's all downloaded, it will be all right. So yesterday, I hear you went to a show of a certain someone.
I did. My body is still broken from it because I'm too old to be standing up all day. But yeah, I went to it was Radio 2 in the Park in Leicester, which is in the Midlands, and it had who did it have? It started off with Simply Red, and then there's a singer called Lamar. Shalimar were on. Names escape me. Who else was on? Oh, the Pretenders were on. Rick Astley was on. Jessie Ware, and headlining Kylie Minogue.
Nice.
So
How
it's
was her?
I think it's her first tension themed show, and she always absolutely kills it, but she killed it in them songs. She was so confident in her material and in the new material and the delivery of such, and she just palm of the hand, eating out the palm of the hand, just absolute perfection. The new stuff sounded epic, and she premiered a new song, "Hold On to Now," and I'm like, this is the first time it's been performed live, and I got a bit emotional.
Yep.
But yeah, she was amazing.
That is awesome. How many times have you seen her?
I have seen her. I guess, not carried off, about 15 times, maybe more.
Wow.
I go to. I've been to every show that she's done, which you've been able to buy tickets for in the north of England. I'm just narrowing this right down. Since the Light Years show in 2000.
Yep.
I mean, so it's like Light Years, Showgirl, The Homecoming, Fever, X, the Kiss Me Once show, Golden show. I went to the Anti Tour, which was fabulous as well. I was at the set that she did for Glastonbury. She did that in Manchester as well at the Castlefield Bowl, also amazing. So I've seen her at Edinburgh Castle. So I've seen her. I've seen her a lot of times in a lot of different places. I saw her perform at an awards ceremony once as well. She just sang "Can't Get You Out of My Head." Back in 2002, I think it was, that one.
Yeah, she doesn't come to Canada, I don't think. I mean, like, you know, her fame in North America is just not the same as it is like over there and down under. And
I think it's great, like, with the whole Vegas thing. I mean, that's got to be, you know, that's got to be indicating that there is a market and there is a.
Yeah, but I feel like the market here is probably strictly more the gay market versus a bigger kind of, you know, mass market. Yeah, for sure.
Well, she's not going to really appeal to the country music and the rap music, which is big in the States.
I really think, like, with her biggest kind of peak over here was probably like "Can't Get You Out of My Head." Was like pretty much when that came out, that was everywhere here. Where I wouldn't say the same about any of her other releases, unfortunately. That doesn't mean that I don't love those releases, but
I mean, if she plays over there, she'll play smaller venues for you as well. Whereas I can only really see her at arenas now. Although I have entered a competition that I'm hoping to win next week to see her at a small venue. So fingers crossed. Now, I've declined.
And if anyone's going to win,
I've declined meetings at work. So really important meetings saying I don't think I'm going to be in work that day. Oh, right, what are you doing? Well, I'm planning on winning a competition. You're planning on winning? Yes, I'm planning on winning a competition. They're like, well, how can you plan on winning a competition? I'm like, watch me. And then if I turn in and work on the day, you've won the competition instead. There we go.
So when did you first realize that you loved, you know, Miss Minogue? When did you first discover her?
Neighbours. I mean, Neighbours, 1986. I don't know if you're familiar with her work on Neighbours. She played.
I'm aware of it. I haven't really seen any of it, but yes, I'm aware of
She
Quite a
played
few
it.
people have gone through there. Like, hasn't like Natalie and
Yeah.
Natalie,
Natalie Imbruglia, yeah.
yeah, gone through Neighbors.
That,
Barbie, what's her name?
Margot Robbie.
Margot. Was she on Neighbors, or was she on a
Oh,
different
away.
a different Australian show?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a
But
different
then
one.
I mean, Danny was on Home and Away as well. So there's loads of Isla Fisher was on Home and Away, I think.
Okay.
There's loads of people who come through. I think even the Hemsworths dipped their toes into either Neighbours or Home and Away.
Well, there's so many of them.
Yeah, eventually they've got to have been one Australian show. Yeah, but yeah, that was my third 1986. Charlene Mitchell, I think her name was. Charlene Mitchell. And yeah, I was like hooked by the character because it was like this tomboy mechanic character. Obviously, the whole non.
So this is before you heard a lick of her music.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So she was an actress, and then she was in the magazines that I was buying or having bought for me as a child. Magazine called Lucky, and it was like, oh look, it's Charlene from Neighbours kind of thing, and then you find out that she's got a song coming out. She's got a song coming out. Great! I've got an old copy of Smash Hits in the cupboard down there, and it says actually in the magazine that the tiny little thing. Kylie Minogue, who plays Charlene in Neighbours, is releasing a song soon. We'll see how this goes. It's just like what? Like,
oh my god!
That's like, yeah, these are the steps Julius Caesar was assassinated on. It's that level. It's of iconic, I think. But yeah, so I begged I wanted the album, and Dad buy me the album. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll get you the album. And that's when I got Now 11. So I was handed Now 11 because it had I Should Be So Lucky on it. And I was probably a bit of a brat about it because that was not what I asked for. I gave instructions. I wanted Kylie Minogue's album, Kylie. I mean, I probably pointed it out in a magazine and said, nope, I got Now 11. And I was probably a bit of a brat about it, but I love Now 11 now. It awakened other music loves in me. But yeah, so I eventually got a copy of Kylie on cassette as well. But that was my first ownership.
What other wonderful hits are on Now 11?
Now 11's got Heaven Is a Place on Earth on it. Belinda Carlisle.
Nice.
It's got I Can't Help It by Bananarama. It's got That's the Way It Is by Mel and Kim. What else? I mean, you're really testing me now, aren't you? Some dance songs like Doctor in the House by Cold Cut featuring Yaz. Oh, there's some absolute classics on that. Jelly Bean, Who Found Who, that's on it.
So your dad kind of knew you better than you knew yourself at the time then.
Well,
he did good.
He got it from those Send Away in magazine things where you write down
Columbia House.
So he was definitely cheating. But, it worked out well anyway. I distinctly remember Dad saying to me as well, well, you won't even hear of her in 10 years' time. Wrong. But I'll remind him every so often, but he's a huge Kylie fan as well, so I don't think he'd be great. I think he probably denies he said it, but I know exactly where I was on the planet in the car with him when he said it to me. I know exactly where I was when that happened.
and have you brought that back up with him yet?
Oh, often, yeah.
Yeah.
Often. Yeah. Why wouldn't I? Why, if I was a 46-year-old man, why wouldn't I just troll my 70-odd-year-old father about saying that Kylie wouldn't last? Why would I not do that?
So when did you start buying stuff? Like, it sounds like your folks are buying you things here and there, or were you saving up money?
I got like a couple of pounds pocket money. Oh, really awfully as well. I used to persuade my brother to let me have his pocket money as well. I'm not sure whether persuading is how he viewed it from his angle, but that's what I used to fund some of my early purchases. So, yeah, so I bought a few. I had a paper round, so I'd buy bits and pieces. But the first thing I bought with my own money was Help by Bananarama. On 7-inch single. That was after the whole Kylie at the school disco event. I knew exactly where to buy records, and I was not going to stop until I bought one 3 or 4 months later on. So
Where did you buy that?
I'd rather Jack by the Red Girl was too, but say again.
Where did you buy that record?
And that was actually W.H. Smith in Manchester Arndale Centre.
W.H. Smith had records.
They did then. They don't anymore. I don't know what they have these days.
Yeah. Well, we used to have W.H. Smith here, like for a little bit, and then it joined up with a different bookseller.
I definitely remember Smith's having singles up until I remember it must have been early '93. They probably stopped doing them. No, hang on, no. I can remember a '94 single being there as well. You asked me to remember anything useful. No, I can remember New Orders Ruined in a Day being in W.H. Smith's in Altrincham. So no useful information. Completely useless information. Yeah, I got all of that.
And how did you figure out what you like? Did you kind of figure out, oh, these were the days that things were going to get released. I need to get to the record shop to see what's new. Did you get into that kind of habit, or it was kind of like, oh, I heard this on the radio. Now I need to get my own copy. And
yeah, it was the hearing on the radio thing a lot for me. I used to listen to the radio a lot. I used to tape a lot of stuff on the radio, and I think it was when you bought the actual physical copy after you typed in the radio, you were actually giving your seal of approval. You had upgraded that from grabbing free to actually buying a copy. And as we know, that is the only valid consumption of music that should be measured for a music chart. Not streaming, not getting it for free, actually passing with money to get it. Don't get me on my soapbox about that, because the charts are compiled wrong. So I forgot my point now because I got a bit angry about the charts being compiled wrong. So I'd write down, and listen to the radio, I'd write down all the things and try and find out when they were coming out. And Smash Hits was always good. Smash Hits would tell you what singles coming this week, and in the bottom it'd say coming soon with dates and stuff like that. So I'd note from that. But I mean, some of the stuff I used to write down off the radio, tape off the radio, I didn't even find out what they were. There's one I didn't find out from taping off the radio in 1990. I only found out what it was last year.
Wow. What was it?
Last year, the year before, it must have been during lockdown times when I had a lot of time on my hands, and I had a book that had all the charts. So what I did was I went through all the charts for around the time it was out, and I went through every song that I didn't know how it sounded, and I listened to them on YouTube, and I eventually found it. That's what we did when we had time, and other people looked after children and stuff like that, or donated their time to care. But no, I looked for the record that I taped off the radio in 1990. Benevolent. It was Catch, I'm Free.
Catch, the group was called Catch?
The group was called Catch, and the song was called I'm Free. Oh, I'm Free or Free.
Okay, no, I'll have to look that up.
This is how down the rabbit hole I am.
Wow. I used to tape stuff off the radio as well, but then I would do weird little hit the record, then hit pause, then hit the record. So it have weird little breaks and stuff that for tape really did not make sense. But
because I decided as a child that I only like pop music, I didn't like any guitar music at all. I did actually. The first time I taped Shakespeare's Sisters, Your History off the radio, I paused it for the guitar bit and unpaused it when the guitar bit had finished because I didn't like it because it was heavy metal.
That's amazing.
And I've still got all the tapes now. I've got them all upstairs. I called them really awfully Now Moi with a number, and I did those for years. And they're all still upstairs. And
How many different versions of that do you have? You think?
Oh, there was. I think I gave up around about 150 or something like that.
Well, that's still a lot. That's
Yeah, but the thing is,
amazing.
I would sit and I would take things off the radio tape. And if my family wanted to go out on a Sunday, and I was made to go with them because I was a child and I couldn't stay at home on my own, I would be a brat to make sure we were home by 4 so I could listen to the charts. And if we weren't home by 4 so I could listen to the charts, I'd make them put it on in the car, and then I'd be really sulky if something had been on that I couldn't tape.
Oh, you little princess.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a good thing, but I had very, very supportive. I have very, very supportive parents. But I remember distinctly my dad being on holiday. I'd save my money. I'd take all my holiday money. We go to Wales, North Wales. They had some record shops. There was a really good record shop in Prestatyn years ago called Marjan Music. It just all came back to me then. That's where I probably got a load of the digging passion from, because they had loads of stuff, and I get loads of stuff. And I remember my dad saying to me, "You can't buy any more music today." And I was like, "I won't." And then I ran off. And I went into Woolworths and I bought Shocked by Kylie on cassette. It's a triumph. It's a triumph story in actual fact. Don't get in the way of a collector. But yeah, so, and even so, they'd be like, "Have you bought more records?" I'm like, "Of course I've bought more records. When have you ever been able to stop me doing that? Why don't you sell your record collection? Why don't you sell your car?" I'm not part of our record collection.
What would you say the breakdown of your collection is in terms of different media?
I would say it's mostly CDs. A lot of records, a lot of cassettes, but mostly CDs. I've got. I live in a 2-up, 2-down terrace house with a steep staircase, but on the staircase is so much where less space because I've stacked all the CD singles up the staircase. And in some parts it's maybe like 9 feet tall, but that is solid. It is solid. I know it's solid because I have fallen on it and it's not come down, so I know it's solid. So when people say that looks dangerous, I'm like, it looks dangerous, but it's perfectly functional.
That sounds like a lot of That sounds like a lot of CDs. 9 feet tall, and I assume it's like a wall of it.
Yeah. It is. When Guinness find out about it, I'm sure they'll be wanting to put it in the book.
How do you find anything?
Alphabetical order, without being facetious.
So, like the singles have their own spot on the staircase, and then what? The rest of the collection just kind of have their spots throughout the apartment.
Yeah, I think we go from Aaliyah up at the top down to, I think it's probably like something like Z Factor in the bottom corner. But yeah,
amazing.
I can't think. Z Factor. Maybe. Oh no. I was going to say Zombie Nation, but yeah, Zombie Nation. Yeah, it's probably Zombie Nation at the other end of it. Aaliyah through to Zombie Nation.
Let's see. So this week, Tension's coming out. So, as a fan, how many copies did you buy or pre-order?
Ooh. Now there's a question. I think I've ordered everything apart from the white label. I just don't see the point of a white label because it's the same black record and it comes in a plain sleeve, and it's like 3 or 4 times the price of the regular. So I don't really see the point of collecting white labels. That's one of the ones I don't see the point of. But what have we got? There's a pink vinyl, a green vinyl, a silver vinyl.
Well, isn't that clear? Isn't the fact with white label the fact that it's the first or one of the first records to be pressed on that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I get the significance, but it's not Coke bottle clear, is it?
So if the white labels had like a nice little like um jacket with photos and whatnot,
Yeah, something a bit
would
more,
it?
something a bit more special. I know that Claire Richards from Steps, her solo album, it came with some white labels, and she hand decorated all the white labels herself. And I'm like, that's cool. That's what you want, really, isn't it? That's a little bit more unique, and everyone was unique. And I was like, no, that's nice. I like that. So I've got 4 cassettes coming of 10. The media book, the signed regular CD. I think there's another CD. There's an alternative cover CD from HMV. So let's just say a number of them I'm going to get. And I will open and listen to all of them because that's what you should do. I don't see the point of leaving things sealed. It's got to be seen. It's got to be seen to exist. And sometimes, you know what? If you don't open them, sometimes you think it's a particular color. You open it, and it's not happened. That has happened twice in the past 12 months. So let me, collectors out there, don't leave your vinyl sealed because you might not even have. In fact, the Steps Greatest Hits splatter vinyl, I got 2 that were just black before I ended up with a splatter. But that was on the day I was actually seeing them to get it signed. So I was able to open it and keep saying, no, another one. No, this is wrong too. No. But it happened. So, it's going to scare all you sealed activists. I don't know what word I'm going for there. You might not have what you think you've got. You better check.
You might not. You never know. And there's so much error in printing these days that you never know actually what's in the album that you have until you open it.
You got all these absolutely ridiculously obscure mispresses where it's got the wrong song on it, and I've got
the wrong artist, the wrong.
So I've got Now Dance 1992 vinyl pressing, and that's got a really epic mispress. Because did you get the song "Shake Your Head" by Was Not Was with Ozzy Osbourne and Kim Basinger on vocals?
Oh no!
Did you get that one?
No.
It's a really good dance song, but it was originally recorded by with Madonna on vocals, and they accidentally pressed the version on that record.
They pressed the Madonna version.
Now, yeah, the Madonna version is on Now Dance 1992 vinyl. So that's a pretty special mispress, and you'd never know if you leave them sealed. You'd never know. Everything's got to be enjoyed.
Yeah, that someone sent the wrong file for sure that day.
Yeah, I don't know how it went about happening, but it did happen, and it's right there. I can see it.
So when you decide, like, hey, new album's coming out, I'm getting everything. Like, what's the thought process there?
Oh, bless you for thinking there's a thought process. At first, it was like, I must have everything. I must consume everything. Like the Moon in Zelda, I must consume everything. And then I've tried to pare it back, thinking you don't need every version for every artist. Just your most beloveds are the ones that you'll get all the versions for. So there is a bit of a conscious decision. So the last Björk album, for Thora, I've got all the versions of that, but then the early pressings of that have a different version of song in it. So a later pressing came out with a different version of song. Oh God, no, I can't have multiple versions of the same one because it's got different colours. Oh no, too much. But yeah, so I mean, Kylie, I've got to get all the Kylie ones. The Romy album, I nearly bought I bought the green one. I nearly bought the yellow and pink, but I was like, no, stick with the green. But then the yellow was rarer. Like the Rasheen Murphy one that's just come out, I bought the orange and the yellow. I'm like, I won't buy the purple and the pink because that would be too much. And then as it went along, I was like, what if I don't have the purple and the pink? I won't have the purple and the pink. And then I would lay awake at night thinking, like, I have the purple and the pink. I must have the purple and the pink as well. So I have the purple and the pink as well of those ones. But they're really pretty. And one of them has a song on it as well. The purple one, absolutely beautiful cover, big magazine, like ludicrous images of her doing ludicrous things inside. And there's an extra track on the record which is about brushing her teeth, which I need that in my life. I need songs about brushing teeth that aren't the same in my life.
It's funny, and I can't judge you for having multiple copies of different albums because I think the best of us do.
Banana Rama's greatest hits. I have version after version after version of that. The amount of Bananarama's greatest hits I've got on cassette is absurd, but I spot them and I'm like, well, that looks different. I'll have that. I've got this column. It's not an entire column of Bananarama's greatest hits. There's at least a shelf and a half of Bananarama's greatest hits.
So are you looking at your Discogs and being like, oh, I don't have the Canadian version of the cassette. I need to track that down.
Yes, I do that, and I do add them to my Discogs. But there is a Holy Grail, and it's like a Holy Grail and a Holy Grail that I once had in my hand as well. So it's a Holy Grail and the one that got away at the same time, which is just
oh no.
Only regret the things that you didn't buy. Bananarama's greatest hits again, like late 80s, early 90s. In fact, I say it was 1990 because I remember Madonna's like "I'm Breathless" was there as well. And it's a the Spanish version is a double cassette in a gold slipcase, not like the thick ones, like thin, so the cassettes are side by side in a big flat gold slipcase. And I'll pick it up and I was like, it's 3,000 pesetas or whatever. I don't even remember the value of things back then, but I want it. I want it. I never could buy it because I was a child and I didn't have that kind of money. And that one has completely slipped. I've got the vinyl version, but that one has completely slipped my. So that is one that I'm always on the lookout for. Bananarama's greatest hits, Spanish in this case.
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
I always feel that like if you wait long enough, it will find you.
I do really have faith in that because things like that have actually happened in a kind of like no way is that like. So there's a CD I was looking for. It's called "Where Is the Feeling" by Within a Dream, which is the original version of the Kylie one from the '94 album. And I wanted the CD single. I wanted the CD single. Yeah, it never came up. Came up on eBay from Germany, £8. Having it, mine, got it in my hands. I can't believe I got the CD single. I'm not even exaggerating. Within 2 weeks, I found it in a record shop.
Of course you did.
The one that I go through and I dig through everything, and I went through it all, and I was like, "Are you for real? Are you actually for real?" Having this in here as well. So I've got 2 copies of it, but the absolute beauty of it is they are both different. One's the promo and one's the actual one, and they are the only 2 copies I've ever seen on sale. So I'm delighted to have them in my collection. There's a man singing outside my door.
What's he singing? I heard the whoa.
Like, oh, not now. Not ever.
So we've been padoming all summer. Where the new album's coming out on Friday. Yep. Are you ready to padam your way through the fall?
Oh, absolutely. I padam every day. It's like, it's prescribed. It's like your 5 portions of fruit and veg. If you don't get padam, you might die. I'm not try it out, and obviously varying it with tension and you know it will be. And I mean the album is going to be absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I mean Padam Padam definitely soundtracked my summer from the first moment. I take the first moment I heard it. Somebody had sent me a low quality leak of it, and I was saying, "Don't listen to it, don't listen to it, don't listen to it." And I gave myself 30 seconds of it, which you know turns out to be most of the song anyway. I gave myself 30 seconds of it, and I was like, "That's amazing." And it was the night I was seeing Roisin Murphy at the Albert Hall in Manchester, and I heard it, and then I went to see Roisin. She was amazing because she's always amazing, and then I came out and I just listened to another 30 seconds as I'm waiting for the tram. And then since then, it's been like constant. It's every happy event I've been to there's been Padam involved in it. So, you know, how can you not? I always say music is joy, and you latch that kind of joy into your life. And Kylie's given so many absolute joyous moments that you latch onto joyous moments of your life. You know, how can it fail to make you smile? And Padam Padam is one of them, because it's like the song's absolute killer, the video is brilliant, she is clearly loving every second, all those different memes and videos and gifs and stuff like that. I mean the one of Romy and Michelle dancing to it, absolute genius. So is that what your dog's named after, Romy and Michelle? Romy?
Yeah. So we actually had two dogs. My ex has the other dog. My ex has Michelle. But when they were together, they were Romy and Michelle.
Oh, brilliant! That is just
and then it was fantastic, kind of finding out. You know, this past week I discovered Romy's album, which good. After one listen was just like, oh my god, this is the album I needed right now.
What's your favorite track?
I think it's track number 3. I'm always good with track numbers, horrible with track titles.
It's here. Oh, I'll tell you what else I got that's really good as well. I'll bring it over. Oh, excuse me for jumping about. Track 3. The record's not in it. It's actually on the record player. The Sea. Track 3, The Sea. You can remember it like that. ABC.
No, it's
not.
Oh, okay.
One Last Try.
No.
Weightless.
That's the one.
Weightless. Okay, right. That's track 2. Live on air. I think my favourite, either Enjoy Your Life, because what a message. What better message can you have? And She's on My Mind is also absolutely gorgeous as well. Love that one. But I also got Sugar Babes, Lost Tapes. So it's nice. The album they recorded like 10 years ago that they didn't get to release, but I managed to get one of the Dead Limited silver ones. So that's an absolute killer album as well. A lot of time for them.
I never got into the Sugar Babes, but I guess that's more of a UK thing than the rest of the world.
Well, I mean, this version, this lineup of the Sugar Babes, you got it's the first lineup from the first album, and then there was multiple variations of Success in between, variations of lineups, absolute classic pop songs, and then they end up being 2 versions of the Sugar Babes with 3 different lineups. The original 3 and the 3 like, oh, if you don't know the story of the Sugar Babes, watch a YouTube video about it. But yeah, so there was 2 lineups of the Sugar Babes. The original 3 had all left and got back together, and then the three replacements were the other version of the Sugar Babes. And then there was a name for the Sugar Babes. Honestly, and then this is the album that the original 3 Sugar Babes recorded at the time. So in actual fact, the first album by the Sugar Babes, this is actually the second album by that lineup.
That sounds like a legal nightmare.
I think it was. There were napkins and wrapping paper involved as well. I'm not even lying. Paper goods.
All right.
Watch a video about it.
that yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to find out more about them.
Yeah, do let me know. On the whole career of the Sugar Babes, all the songs are amazing. This song's written by Kathy Dennis, who wrote obviously Can't Get Out of My Head, and she had a great career in the early '90s herself. So you've got some really good quality songs in there. But again, joyous pop music. Give if you don't know Sugar Babes, give them a listen.
Kathy Dennis, didn't she write also for? I want to say she wrote "Slave for You," but I don't know if that's correct or not.
I don't know. I don't think so. Toxic is what you're thinking. She wrote Toxic.
That's it. Okay, I knew it was one of the Britney classic that she had written. It's kind of like, yes, still writing music even though she's not on the forefront as she was.
She played a pop festival in the UK last year, called the Mighty Hoopla, and so fingers crossed she'll do some more. But I mean, when you've written like Toxic and Can't Get Out of My Head and stuff for S Club and when you and Sugar Babes About You Now, it's the biggest selling song. Do you really need to work once you've written all those songs?
Probably not.
Probably not. I'd like to try it just to find out.
Sorry.
Writing a song that makes millions of money without me doing anything. Well, that was dismissive, but you know what I mean. Love you, Kathy.
So I think with that, we're gonna, close it off for this episode. Nick, thank you for joining us. Where can people find you?
Oh, Instagram. Yeah, look at the Clough collection. That's the one about music. At, obviously, the CLOUGH collection, because it's a name that people love to mispronounce. But I'm sure you can do some links and stuff.
Yeah, we'll do some links below, above, wherever those links are. But yeah, thank you for for joining us today on our first episode.
Oh. Yeah.
I've been wanting to, do this show since before COVID started, and I've just been dragging my feet, and it's been one of those things where it's just kind of like, okay, I just need to hit record and actually hit record and do it. So, we've got it this time. We've hit record. And hopefully this will be out on Thursday. New Kylie out on Friday. And is there anything else that you're looking forward to towards the end of the year, maybe, to throw us out?
Hopefully I'm going to. Well, I already told you I'm planning on winning a competition next week, so I hope I'm going to go to a Kylie. But PJ Harvey, I see PJ Harvey play a really small venue in Manchester, nice. Which is dead exciting. Friendly Fire is a band that I love. They're playing Manchester, seeing them. Georgia, a wonderful pop musician. She's got a new album out. Sophie Ellis Bextor's Christmas Kitchen Disco. That's also coming up. So there's always something to look forward to when you're a pop music fan.
Did you say Christmas disco?
Sophie Ellis Bextor, the kitchen disco she was doing during lockdown.
Okay.
So this is a Christmas kitchen disco, and the last time she did it, she had a big spinny wheel, and she spun the wheel, and the wheel came on. And then one time landed the same song twice.
Amazing. All right, well, we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for coming on board, and that's it for now. See you guys. Thanks, Nick.
Bye.